Dear God, thank you for this day, for all days, for this moment. Do we perceive time because our life here on this beautiful planet is limited, our flesh destined to become something else? The chameleon eats the flies, and when she dies, the flies eat the chameleon. There's this constant exchange of form, of grass becoming soil, soil becoming grass, grass becoming bread, bread becoming flesh, flesh becoming death, death becoming space, space becoming life. Does this process embody time, and is it linear or circular or formless? Today it feels circular in the sense that it has no destination, it just is, or as you apparently said, I am. Why is it that children can perceive you and your closeness more clearly than adults? Is it because when we are children, our experience of reality has not yet hardened, in the sense that reality seems new and more permeable? And is it that when we are young, we don't believe that we're right? We haven't attached ourselves to principles and roots, to old things, to notions of belonging and ideas in 1,000 shapes and forms, because everything appears new to us, nothing is old. Maybe at that stage there is more osmosis. We have not imposed ourselves on reality. The piano plays and we become the notes, which in turn become a butterfly. We lie down behind the sofa and smell the dust. Adults don't lie down behind sofas or hide in the washing. Adults never get such a good look at shoes. And too soon we go to school, and there is almost a line of adults queuing up to inform us that one thing is older than another, that one idea, one place, one reality is holier than another, by which they invariably mean that you made it, you thought it. But as Einstein said, the fish will be the last to discover water. I must have been about 7 years old. It was spring, and there was this hedge beneath a neglected apple tree. The tree wasn't in leaf, but I could see the color of the blossom through the bug casings. I was looking for nests. There was one in the hedge which belonged to a hedge sparrow. They are such demure little birds. I'd never seen one fighting or squabbling, remonstrating like the sparkling starlings or the feisty house sparrows. Never seen them drawing blood from their neighbors like the robins do. As you know, for their nests they weave grass and hair precisely into a small, deep bowl, which they then line with moss to the point where it shines. And there they were, 4 varnished blue eggs, sitting in this deep, smooth green. This creation didn't feel like an act of power or strength or majesty. It was an expression of intimacy that was delicate and silent, like your gaze. We were both in a state of wonder, and whilst I was alone, I realized I wasn't alone, that you were there. In that state of wonder, you were present. There is an open door from the room of wonder to the room of praise, where creation continually celebrates its being. All I was doing that spring day was joining in, giving myself a voice with which to sing. It was a celebration, you in celebration of us in celebration of you in celebration of you, and us in celebration of us. It was continuous, and it was in all things. The way autumn celebrates death, winter celebrates sleep, spring celebrates rapture, and summer glory. How silence celebrates sound, and sound celebrates silence. I had no idea how long I let you hold me for that day, how long we had been together. I learned as I grew older that this was your love, you loving me and me loving you. We were in a state of love, and it was mutual and unconditional and really so simple. I gave it freely, You gave it freely until there was no you, there was no me. There were no more rooms. But when I went to school, all this changed. I was put under huge pressure to change with it. There were these adults who kept telling me how big you were, how great you were, how clever you were, how important you were. And they expected me to tell you this, to sing to you, and they separated you from me. They taught me loneliness, and they said that if I misbehaved, I would be punished by you. They told me I'd been born in sin and was to ask you to forgive me because of this sin that someone called Adam had committed. More importantly, they claimed they knew you much better than I did. They knew all about you, but they didn't seem to know you at all. When they wanted me to stand there and praise you, I told them I didn't feel it. There was no wonder. They didn't seem to me to know how to wonder. Perhaps they weren't interested in wonder. They just wanted me to believe in you. And if I didn't believe, you would punish me. More often than not, this was an excuse for them to punish me. They made you so big, so strong, so terrifyingly powerful that I was to get down on my knees in your presence. And if I made myself small enough, only then would I be able to see how big you really were and how lost I really was. They almost succeeded, as Jim Morrison has said, in tying you with fences. And on the other side of their fences was indeed the land of the lost, and if I went there, I would become foul and stained and fond of flesh, especially my own. I was to be forgiven when I came back again to the light side of the fence, but only on the condition that I told you where I had been, and more importantly, what I had been doing. But on the many occasions I have visited that dark and fascinating land, in all those dark rooms of forgetting, you are there, waiting. And you bring me back, you bring us back, through the couple walking arm in arm, the man in the cafe, listening, the underside of leaves, just one glimpse of wonder. That's all it takes to find love again. In some of those rooms, in the very worst of those rooms, there appears to be a total absence of love. And then it can be very hard to feel you. Love speaks the language of wonder. I am amazed at how beautiful, how selfless, how brave, how intricate, how honest, how fragile it really is. And your love has to express itself, has to, yearns to. It is earthed in yearning. And as I get older, it seems clearer to me that we don't describe you adequately, that we do not express your power in its true selflessness, intricacy, honesty, fragility. No, we seem to be obsessed with majesty and with an image of you as the founder of the universe, the mover of moons, the one who can change the color of the skies. And we gave you power over us. And soon afterwards, you became a dictator in our minds, issuing decrees about what to wear, what to eat, who to sleep with, when to stand, when to sit, when to pray, when to dance. And because we imagined your power was expressed in this way, we have assumed that imposition is the right of the powerful. We have made ourselves kings in this image. We look to our distorted image of you for our blueprint of power, which we then made manifest. And it is set solid in each one of us. And when you gave us dominion over the fish of the sea, the birds of the air, the animals of the forest, of the field, we exercised this great gift as domination. The hedge sparrows, the chameleons, the starlings are terrified of us. It is this model of power that is in the process of condemning much of the natural world, your gift to me, into oblivion or a permanent imprisonment. The only way to stop this, I have decided, is to accept it personally. Your gift of dominion was given to each one of us individually, not to the government or to farmers or to national park managers or to the church. No, it was given to me. It was given to us. At least up here in the desert, in this cave, which feels like the moon, I can pretend I'm not part of that anymore. Here it's just you and I, and our brothers and sisters, the flies. Maybe that is how it always is. I need to learn that I don't need to be strong anymore. And that all these tools I have acquired to make me strong are no more than embodiments of my fear, perversions of my fragility. I am so wonderfully fragile, but so very afraid of that. And I'm learning here that I need to be weak, beautifully weak, so weak that, as the sadhus say in India, I dissolve. All my love.